Hello and welcome to this video about the Workspace-Guru XenServer backup tool. In this video I will show you how to install the tool, how to use the tool and how to troubleshoot if something goes wrong with the tool. To install the tool we just need the MSI, which can be downloaded from workspace-guru.com. Just double click on the MSI and the installation will start. And the installation is finished. If we now look into the start menu, we can see XenServer backup is added. If we click on this, the application will launch. One thing to note is that this whole tool is created with PowerShell and it talks with PowerShell to your XenServer. So we need the XenServer PowerShell module, the API, to run the tool. As soon as you launch the tool for the first time, it will check if the API is installed, the PowerShell module. If it isn't, it automatically installs it, so you don't have to do that separate. So now let's connect to a XenServer. Press Get VMs. It will show me a list of all the VMs running on the XenServer. If this is a pooled XenServer, it will show all the VMs within the pool. Here we can select VMs we want to backup. Even VMs with spaces in the names are backed up. The tool will do the following when making a backup. It will take a snapshot of the running VM. It will export that snapshot to an XVA file and then it will delete the snapshot. After that, you can choose to zip the backup folder and to email a backup log. I'm now going to demonstrate a backup. I'm going to select an export path. I choose my desktop and I want to zip the backup. If I click Run Backup Now, these VMs will get a snapshot that will be exported and then deleted. On my environment this goes really fast because I use diskless VMs, so there is no real data that needs to be backed up. I click Run Backup Now and in the bottom I can see the status and I get backup finished. If I then look on the desktop, I can see there is a backup of these VMs and the XVA file is in it. It also is really small because, as I said, these are diskless VMs. Another thing we can do is email a backup log. As soon as you email a backup log, you need to enter a from address, a to email address, and an SMTP server. Run Backup Now. And now I also get a nice email with a log what happened while taking the backup. One of the things you want to do with a backup, of course, is schedule it. So these are the other options are for scheduling. We need to give it a username which will run the task. Mind you, that to run a task on a machine you must be a user or local admin on the machine. We can select a backup time. I want to backup at 21:30 and I can give the backup a name like Windows Backup. Now I can press Create Schedule Task and this will create a task. Here I see the task and if I click on the task I can see the state. If I press Run Now, it will run the task. You'll even see on my desktop that it's creating a new folder and then a new zip file with a backup. The zip files or folders on which backup are automatically labeled with a date. So every day you get a new folder or new zip. You can press refresh to see if the task is still running or if it is ready. And if you press delete task, the task will be deleted. Okay, I'm going to create a task again. And now I want to show you some troubleshooting tips about the tool. The working directory for the tool is the program data folder. So if we browse to the program data folder, in there we see a directory called Workspace-Guru. In there we see a directory XenServer backup, and here we see a few things. The first one we see is the backup logs. These are the logs of the backup we just ran. So if I double click on the latest one, I will see here all the info from the backup. This is also the log that is attached to an email. Next to that we see logs, and these are the logs of when you're using the tool. If something goes wrong during the tool, for instance we want to create a scheduled task but I misspelled the password. Oh, this time it already says this task already exists, so please select a different time or a different name. So we're going to name it 2, but as I said, the password is wrong. So now I get an error and it says task is not created, please check the log. So if I go into the log and I scroll down, I will see here the username or password is incorrect. So this is the log for the tool. Below that there is a password fault. Because you enter some credentials here to connect to the XenServer, because we need those credentials every time we take a backup, we need to reconnect to the XenServer with those credentials. So the password is saved in an encrypted file like this. Under there are the scripts we use for the backup. So here you can see we have the backup and the backup 2. If we take a look in these scripts, we can see that it is just the normal PowerShell backup script, which I also put on my blog, so you can just use this script as you want to. But then in the bottom we do some different things. First off, we decrypt your password so that we can use it, and we put it in a variable. And the last line of the code is generated through the toolkit. So everything we just typed in is now here. So again, if someone without PowerShell or script knowledge opens this file, nowhere is your password stored in this file. The last thing I want to show you is the task scheduler. The tool just uses the normal Windows task scheduler. So if you look in the task scheduler library, you can see your backup here, and it actions, you can see that it goes to the say program data script. So that's it. I hope you have fun with the tool and that you use it. And please visit my blog at workspace-guru.com.